Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I am so excited to share with you this week's mystery card. So if you played along with us today in the craft social, this is the card that you made. So it's a fun triangle fold card. Little interactive fun fold there. And we're gonna just jump right in and make this card. The project sheet will be on the blog with all of the measurements, so you don't have to scribble this down. It'll all be there. And if you've got any questions, you can email Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Questions about the project, questions about the mystery card. If there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, reach out, okay? So we've got some Bermuda Bay cardstock here. These two pieces are 4 1/4 inches by 10 3/8. And the first thing we're gonna do is score up the base of our card. So let's grab our Simply Score tool. We're gonna do both of these pieces one at a time. Here's our 10 3/8 inch side. We're gonna score at 5 1/2 on both pieces. 5 1/2 and then 5 1/2. Now we're gonna rotate the piece 180 degrees and just gently mark the 4 1/4 inch mark. Do you see? I just made a little dent. You can do it with a pencil if that helps you. All right, so here's our 5 1/2. Rotate 180 degrees and then just a little divot at 4 1/4. Use a pencil if you like. All right, so we've got these pieces. Let's bring in our paper trimmer now. I find the paper trimmer is the best way to get those diagonal score lines. So that little 4 1/4 divot that you marked, you're gonna put that on the cutting track of your paper trimmer and you're gonna pivot it until you've got the corner opposite in the track. Now be very careful. You want to make sure that you park your cutting blade up off the top so you don't cut this piece off, and then score the diagonal. Okay, so now you've got a piece that looks like this. Scored at 5 1/2. We got, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch, then our diagonal score line. Now the same thing with our second piece. You're gonna find that little divot or that little pencil mark that you made, put that on the cutting track, and then pivot until you've got the opposite corner in the cutting track. There it is. We got a nice straight diagonal. Make sure your cutting blade is parked and score. Well, we've got our paper trimmer here. We've got a piece of Designer Series paper. This is from the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper. We want to cut this piece now. So we're going to park our scoring blade all the way down at the bottom. We're going to cut this guy diagonal from corner to corner. Be sure that if you've got a directional paper, you're very careful about how you cut. So you want to cut from the upper right to the lower left if you have a directional paper. Put it in face up, upper right to lower left. That diagonal is very important right there. So line that up so that both points are on the cutting track. When you got a nice corner to corner, hold it steady and cut your paper in half. All right. Now we need a bone folder and those Bermuda Bay pieces and multi-purpose liquid glue. Let's work these creases. We're gonna start with this diagonal score line right here. Bring that in, card base, and that diagonal. Next one, gonna work that card base and then work that diagonal. Kind of make sure that you square up along the edge here. You can move that line a little bit with your bone folder so everything lines up nice and tidy. All right, so there's your two pieces. Now look at this. Are you ready? There's your card. See that? So what we'll do here is we're gonna take one of these pieces and we're gonna add multi-purpose liquid glue to the back. You wanna be somewhat generous here. All right, now opposite the glue, you're gonna fold that guy forward. Don't wanna glue your card shut here. And then open up the diagonal flap on this side. Bring this guy in. And you're gonna glue these guys right over top of each other. On the back, you wanna make sure it's nice and tidy too. Everything lines up. Burnish that down. I'm gonna even use the side of my bone folder here. And there it is. So here's your card base. You want, all right. So you've got these two together. They're looking good. Let's fold this guy up. I'm working my creases both ways. My mechanism's gonna work nice and smooth then. I'm gonna really pull this together. Work those creases so you get a nice tight square. Now, because you cut your designer series paper face up, directional pattern up from the right corner to the left corner, you need to make sure that your card opens that way too, okay? Because depending which way you fold this guy up, he could go from the left side open, or if you folded it the other way, see how it can go with the flap on the right here. Now if your card is this way and your designer series paper is this way, do not fear, you just folded it inside out. So turn it around, change those flaps around. You want this left hand corner and this right hand corner, upper left, lower right, to be your flaps. See? Thank God for video. What did we do before that when we could only teach with written word? It's very challenging. All right, so we've got our designer series paper. Let's get that on. A little multi-purpose liquid glue. What you want to do here is line up against the diagonal fold and work on a nice equal border around the bottom and right, and then the top and left. So just take your time, line up those edges, make a pretty card front with your designer series paper. I'm going to kind of work it so that the pattern lines up too now as we're adding our second piece, and burnish that guy on. Pretty cool, isn't it? All right, now we've got the base and it's decorated with some designer series paper. Let's take a look at some other pieces here in the card kit. We did some die cutting ahead here, and I just want to show you these pieces. I won't die cut them. These are from the Stitched Rectangles dies. I love this die set. Let me show you what we've got here. We've already cut it ahead of time for you to give these a trim. So this is the B size stitched rectangle. It's 4 3/4 by 3 1/8. And then this is the M size. So your second largest and your very smallest is what you're gonna cut. This is 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches. Then we've also got a couple of pieces that I cut using the layering squares. I've got my second largest scallop square from Layering Squares. It's 2 3/4 inch from Bermuda Bay. And then we're gonna cut the simple square, the C-size square, which is 2 3/8 inch square. And this is also from the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper. One more little bit of die cutting for you to do. Got the scallop circle from Layering Circles. This is a 1 5/16 inch. This is terracotta tile. And our simple circle is the 1 7/8 inch from the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper. Let's go ahead and adhere some of these pieces together. We're gonna make a pretty little layered rainbow, a little layer of patterns and colors for our elephant to live on. I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm just going to stack all 4 layers. I love this designer series paper. I keep saying it looks like a taco shell. So we're going to glue the taco shell pattern to the Bermuda Bay, the terracotta tile to the taco shell, and up on top is that Bermuda Bay confetti pattern. And I've got this second layer just a little bit high of center because we're going to layer over the sentiment. Here's a very important little detail. We're going to get technical here for a minute. Now that we've got our fun little patterns and colors all layered up, we need some Stampin' Dimensionals. And you're going to be very careful here to adhere just the upper left half of your die cut to the diagonal flap, the upper left diagonal flap of the card. So what that means is you want to add your adhesive in a nice little triangle here that is not going to cross over this diagonal line. Do you see that? So all my adhesive is up in the corner and nothing hangs over here to glue the card closed. So now that we've got the adhesive placed, let's remove the liner and add this panel. And you'll see that I'm lining it up so that I've got a relatively equal designer series paper border all the way around my scallop square, and that the diagonal opening of the card intersects right and cuts this right in half. Do you see that? All right. Too cute. We're really getting there. All right, we need to do some stamping now. So let's slide this guy to the side. I got some Whisper White cardstock here, a little basic gray, and an elephant. This is the little bit bigger guy, and this is from the Little Elephant stamp set. I love this cling mount stamp set. You can pair it up with the Elephant Builder Punch, and these are just a favorite. Let me go this way. I think I got a little more room this way, and I'm going to let that ink transfer. We got a cute little plaid pattern on that elephant, and I want a nice contrast between the gray and the white. Isn't that cool? Simple chamois here. We're going to clean our elephant because we're going to make a different color ear. I love that the Elephant Builder Punch has a punch for the elephant and a punch for the ear, so you can layer those up in different colors. I'm going to use that one more time, so I just need to slide it out of the way. Let's grab Grapefruit Grove this time. Got my little Stampin' Up! Grid paper here. I want to protect the surface. Got a scrap of Grapefruit Grove. We're going to take our little elephant this time. We're going to ink him up and stamp him. We only are concerned with the ear. And then we got a big elephant here. We'll ink him up and flip and stamp him. We're only concerned with the ear. All right, now let's make sure that we can get both of those ears from this punch, hopefully without hurting the other elephant ear. It looks like we're gonna just barely make it. All right, so one little elephant ear coming right up, and then one big elephant ear. Oh, we just barely made it, and I'm gonna need a handle. So I'm gonna take the scrap that I stamped the bigger elephant on, and a smidge of snail adhesive on the corner here. This is gonna help us get that bigger elephant's ear punched out. So now we've got a handle. We can line that up really easy. Punch out. Now we've got 2 Grapefruit Grove ears. Let's set those aside. We don't want to mix them up with our scraps. Now all that's left is putting our pieces together. So let's grab the inside of our card. We're going to adhere that to the center, centered on the center inside panel. Remember, our little elephant goes in the bottom right corner. You just center it all around. Burnish. There's the inside of our card. Now to the outside of our card. Got my little elephant. Oh, I've got one little final touch for you in just a second. I'll show you. Don't let me forget. I'm going to cut up the edge of a mini Stampin' Dimensional here and spread some pieces out around the back of my elephant. Now he's going to go right high of center on that circle. I'll forget you not. It's going to go underneath his feet. I'm going to use a couple of little bits of Stampin' Dimensional there too. I think I used all the edge of this piece up. I don't let any bit go to waste. I'm sure you don't either. And I'll forget you not. And that one's just a little bit wider than our square. So you want to center it so that the edges just peek over the simple square. See how our forget you not label's a little bit longer? Now let me bring my sample in here. Can you see the little detail that we're leaving out? Grab your black Stampin' Right marker and we're going to just fill in big elephant's eye and we're going to fill in little elephant's eye. I think it brings them to life a little bit. There it is. You did it. That was our mystery card in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. If you crafted along with me today, congratulations. It was a challenging one. If you want to join me next time, buzz over to facebook.com and join the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social group. The link is below the video. And mystery stamp with us next week. If you got questions about the project, Stampin' Up! Product, the Craft Social, or mystery card, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. If there's anything I can do to keep you crafty, just reach out. For Stampin' Up! Supplies, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net and shop 24/7. Thanks for watching.